Hey guys, Keegan here, and today I'm going to be talking about the newest Guillermo del Toro movie, The Shape of Water. This movie is just purely magical, and I was very hyped because it's one of the first Guillermo del Toro movies that actually looks really good in a very long time. I haven't seen all of Guillermo del Toro movies, since I've only seen a few of them. The only Guillermo del Toro movies I have seen were Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, and Pacific Rim. I haven't seen Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, but I've heard it was pretty good, and I haven't seen the sequel to Blade. I've only seen a little bit of the first Blade. And I've known Guillermo del Toro has done some producing credit, as well as being an executive producer of some DreamWorks movies like Puss in Boots, Rise of the Guardians, but that's not his main work. His main focus is directing movies, and whenever he directs a movie, he does an excellent job with the creature effect, and that can be said about the creature in The Shape of Water. This creature is beautifully designed and created. In interviews, Guillermo del Toro wanted to make this creature as sexy as possible for the audience to view. Sort of like a Beauty and the Beast sort of scenario, except instead of the beast, it's the creature from the Black Lagoon. But that doesn't mean the story is copy and paste from Beauty and the Beast, because the story of this movie is just well written and unique that Guillermo del Toro said later on he wants to adapt this to a book. I mean, I guess I can see that work. As a movie, The Shape of Water is probably one of the greatest movies I've seen in 2017. Probably my favorite movie of 2017. Definitely a top contender for the Oscars, and I feel like this is going to win a lot of awards, as well as another movie I saw the same day as The Shape of Water, which I will talk about in another video. The story of The Shape of Water is set in 1962 in Baltimore, in this sort of small city where everyone have to be white and have a very successful conservative family. That's what the timeline of this movie is, and it's supposed to be like, oh, let's make America great again sort of scenario, sort of what started in the 1950s where they are about to discover the future and all that stuff. Sally Hawkins plays as a mute janitor named Eliza, who works in a Baltimore laboratory with her best friend Zelda, played by Octavia Spence. And I gotta say, these two performances are very well received because Sally Hawkins' performance is just beautiful and amazing. This might be one of my new favorite fictional movie characters of all time. This character is mute, who cannot speak, but she can hear. She only communicates through American Sign Language, with Zelda being her sort of translator if people don't understand what she is saying. But she can hear, she knows stuff, but she just feels incomplete inside. She wants something more, sort of wants to find something greater, and that she is not perfect like how everyone else is. The characters are people that want to be complete in life but feel incomplete. Eliza's friend, played by Richard Jenkins, is an artist who wants to design advertisement posters for a company but keeps getting rejected every time and wants to feel completed, as well as falling in love with this baker. This character is actually a homophobe. It really makes the characters very believable and relatable because these characters are all incomplete. Along with Octavia Spencer's character, Zelda, who is an African American woman who is dealing with segregation for African Americans. These characters are very believable and very relatable to be in this time, since none of them are a perfect generic white conservative man. The villain of the movie, who is in charge of the laboratory facility, who keeps the creature inside and wants to feel completed, wants to be that perfect person, better than everyone else, doesn't want to be disregarded by people. And so in order for himself to be completed, he wants to follow the traditional American way, the traditional white man American Christian way of life, which I know I'm a Catholic, I have my beliefs in my faith, but seeing people treated insanely super conservative at this time, where they believe that the Lord's image is a typical white man, is just insane. These characters are very well written. I feel like Guillermo del Toro does an excellent job writing these characters in this movie, because these characters feel incomplete and want to find more in life, want to be known, want to find something successful, because these characters are obviously incomplete people that are struggling through the early 1960s of what's going on at that time. What makes the movie stand out is the relationship with Sally Hawkins' character and the sea creature, who The sea creature is basically inspired by the creature of the Black Lagoon, since Guillermo del Toro stated that creature is a very inspiration of the movie. Originally, Guillermo del Toro wanted to make a remake of the creature of the Black Lagoon, but the studios unfortunately rejected the idea. So instead, he decided to create an original story about a sea creature and a mute woman falling in love with each other. And it shows, because the chemistry between these two are just amazing. It made me want more from these characters. Everything was just well crafted. The cinematography was amazing. I love the opening shot of the film where it uses special effects of water. The water effects in this movie also, I just want to say, are incredible, and I feel like this movie should definitely get some nominations for best visual effects in using water, as well as the makeup effect on the sea creature was well done as well, since the actor who played as the sea creature also collaborates with most of Guillermo del Toro's movies as playing as the creature that Guillermo del Toro wants on his screen, which Guillermo del Toro does an excellent job creating monsters and creatures in his movies. You think it's CGI, but it's not. Everything just feels practical. I know that there was CGI mixed in with this creature, but when it felt real, it felt real. The people who made this movie did an excellent job on that, as well as the lighting. The lighting in this movie is basically blue. Everything you just see matches the color tone of the movie, since the main color tone is blue. You can go from the teal, you can go from dark blue, you can go from light blue. The characters, how they are dressed, feel blue. The backgrounds are blue, the setting is blue, the creature is blue, everything. This is a very blue movie. The main color theme of this movie is blue, and it's well demonstrated how Guillermo del Toro wants to add that to the movie. It's something to point out when watching it for the first time or watching it again. There's just a lot to explore on every single detail on the screen. There's just so much to explore. I also want to mention the soundtrack of the movie was beautiful. I've been starting to listen to the soundtrack of The Shape of Water after watching this movie. I know the composer of this movie has also made music for the Harry Potter movies, like the later ones, and it definitely shows, and also worked on the Grand Budapest Hotel, which is another amazing movie to view if you're a Wes Anderson fan. But anyways, The Shape of Water is a movie that I was excited to see. It's been a while since I've seen a well-crafted original movie from Guillermo del Toro. The Shape of Water is probably the best Guillermo del Toro movie since Pan's Labyrinth. Probably my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie that he has made. Now, I know I haven't seen all of his movies. I still gotta check out his earlier films, which I might do after watching this movie, since he's a very talented director, and I know he's gonna get a lot of awards from this movie. And if I have to give a final rating, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I didn't really have any problems with the story. The story had a great pace, it flowed perfectly. There might have been a little bit of a slow parts during the middle act. It was a little bit slow, but that's only just a minor nitpick. The Shape of Water is a movie I highly recommend checking out. Go out and see it before it's out in theaters. But anyways, that's my review of The Shape of Water. I hope you guys see me again soon. Until then, see you later, guys.